All right, we're going to get that big step of getting the boiler onto the base today, and I'm just cleaning up the last few things, a little portafilter. That's why I do. I put a little cleaner in there, and you see I take a little brew basket so it sits flat, so you get kind of an even soak, and I'll use that to clean a few things. And then the brew head I kind of do in the same way. I prop it up, then I put a little bit in there, and then I stuff a paper towel so that it stays inside, so it can kind of go ahead and clean in there and things like that. So that's just how I do. I'm doing a little cleanup on stuff. A bunch of baskets, soaking them and cleaning them, but I got those two ready for the machine. And that damn cube mill, I thought it broke again. I was out using it, but it was just that little diffuser. The freaking little post fell off and jammed it up. But anyway, it's still working. I took that darn thing out. But let's go ahead and do our little job today. I'm using the Stefano's tool here, so I'm converting it back from doing one of the bases that doesn't have a, just the cap element. And so now I'm switching back to the 3-prong, so I can do the other type of heating elements and get that little ring tightened down really good. So that's a pretty neat little tool. You just take those 3 screws out, and that plate comes off, and then you have the pegs. You can leave one in it, and you take 3 of them off, and then you put it back into the main part of the tool. And then you're ready to tighten the big brass rings or whatever. It's pretty, you can use a lot of those other tools, but this one's pretty heavy, so I feel like I get a really good seal with it. I can really tighten it down. And I'm using my little L bar too. I have it kind of sticking out further. I'm going to use the furthest out 2 holes. Just leave it a little flex. I'd hate to bend the boiler or something when you're tightening that down, but here we go. And then I just use the same little brew head bolts. I put a little gasket on those. Those are actually the ones that go on the steam wand, but just because the thickness, and so this will hold it good, and you have a little flex with the rubber gasket, so it's nice. It kind of gives it lets you tighten it down pretty good, but gives you a little bit of leeway, hopefully, because you don't want to bend that. I have bent that part of the boiler before, just getting little things, so I'm just going to tighten those down, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can get that base on there. That's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. That's a little wiggly, but there we go. If I was doing something I wanted stiffer, I would slide that L out a little bit so I could bolt the boiler closer to it where it would be a little firmer. But it works good this way too. We got our gasket, so we'll put that one on so we don't forget it. I don't know which way is better, but we're going to do that. There goes that nice new base. It's the first new base I've ever had, so it's going to be just like a new machine there. And we'll remember that gasket. That's pretty good. That's on there. And this is a boiler with the coarser thread. I've also never messed with those. I've always had the fine thread that are a little less forgiving. But yeah, this one spins right down. No muss, no fuss. The finer thread, I'd probably have to use the tool a little bit because they seem to see, maybe they seal and hold tighter. I don't know. I guess you could probably do a comparison and see which one lasted longer before it started loosening. But just line that up and ball it in. There you go. Now we'll get the big tool on there. Fit it right on each little prong. And then I'm going to use the big bar today. You can just use your little ratchet. That gets it pretty tight too. But I'm going to give it the big bar and try to hold it straight. It's a little wobbly, with this tool. It works good and it's heavy duty, but I like it sitting up like this rather than sideways. It's really hard to kind of rest on there. So just make sure that's straight. It might have moved a little. That's another reason I like it up here is I can kind of make sure that base stays straight. I can double check it and peruse it. Maybe sometimes you can just give it one of those little gadgets, just get it that tiny bit. But there we go. We're going to see if we can tighten that some more too. Lined up pretty well. We'll find out when the brew head goes on. Sometimes you're a little off and you gotta readjust, but I think we'll be good. And I'm gonna really, I'd like to really hug that in there. Keep it straight as you can and just really get a good solid pull. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna go any further. All right, so that's how it is. That's how I do it. I've done it a few times, but yeah, that's first step. So next time we're gonna go ahead and put the everything on the boiler, and I just needed a couple little attachments. There we go. I think it'll be straight. And then we'll go ahead and the next show we're going to put most everything together, maybe even the heating element. I still got to get the 3 screws. I got the brew head to boiler screws I was missing, and now I need the 3 for the lower one. I had it for the brass element, which were longer, so I got to get 3 short ones, but no worries there. And this one came out good. Let's pop it off, and yeah, I think it's pretty straight, but the truth will be told when you really, yeah, there we are. Excellent. Okay, so anyway, we're going to be another show pretty quick, and this baby will be going.